is impression. Size बढ़ाई चाहिएगा. This is the cast that we have got. Okay. So what we have been able to determine is the position of the implant, the depth of the implant, the angulation of the implant, the soft tissue profile, and the position of the hex. So all these 5 things we have been able to achieve by using the impression. Now, we would have been able to get all these 5 things even without using a splint. Why did we splint? To get the inter-implant positioning right. The positioning of this implant in relation to this implant. To get that right, we have to do the splinting with a pattern drill. Otherwise, individually, both will see. So if I am making 2 individual crowns, I don't have to do the splinting part. But if I am planning to splint the crowns, then only I have to go through the cycle of splinting and everything, right? The purpose of the splint is to record the correct inter-implant relationship, right? So now what we will be doing is, we will be again, as I told you, always seat it and then tighten it, okay? Again, seat it and there is some dental stone in the hex. So, and tighten it, right? So, this implant positioning is right, this implant positioning is right. But are they right in relation to each other? That is the purpose of the splint, right? Now there are 2 kinds of splint that is there. One is the verification jig. Now what is a verification jig? A verification jig, as the name suggests, it is a jig which is used to verify that whether this position which I have, inter-implant, is right or wrong. That is all what it is. Okay. So what I do in order to make a verification jig? Same way. फैन कम कर दो पॉसिबल हो तो See, as I told you, the jig has to be 360 degree, right? So this was we were not able to do yesterday in the patient's mouth. Can I have a cement carrier? what do we have here is, you should ensure that the screws are free. Now, if you see this jig, this is uniform, 360 degree with adequate width and adequate thickness, right? So that if it is adequate, the chances are that it will be more rigid. Now, one way is, if I want to use it as a verification jig, what I will do is, I will allow this material to set, open the patient's healing cap, remove this jig from here, and again place it in the patient's mouth. And then I will do what? Take a IUP here. If that seating is perfect and it is going in perfect, we call it a verification jig. So what did we verify? We verified the inter-implant positioning is right on the cast, right? So what we'll do is, we will Is this the only atom driver that you all have? Or you have another atom driver also? Now what we'll do is we'll open the patient's healing cap. One person to assist. So remember, as I told you, you should place your healing cap according to the place. And so this is number 6 and this is number 7.
Sir, it's not visible.
Okay, one second. I'm just removing the healing caps anyway. So what I was trying to say is, just focus here. Let's see, this is number 7 healing cap, right? So I place my number healing cap separately and I should be able to place the same healing cap back. So I know this is number 6, this is number 7. Usually my assistant...
Still not able to see.
So I should be able to, there should be a marking here that this is number 6 and this is number 7. So I have to place it back in the right position, okay? Now what we do is here is, we remove the central screw, we take it out, okay, and now we place it in the patient's mouth, right?
Sir, the video is not on.
Is it fine now?
No, sir.
No. Now is it fine?
No, sir. Yes, sir, it's fine.
Fine now. So what I have done is I have placed the abutments, okay, the impression posts. But see, I am not very happy with their seating. Okay, now they are seated. See, in a kind of a deep-seated internal hex, even this seating will be a friction fit. Right, means I will put it in, and even if I leave it, it will not wobble. Here the connection is too superficial. So there is always a chance of wobbling, right? Just hold them in place so that I can use the central screw to tighten it. So where is the central screw here? So I place the central screw here and I'll place a central screw here, right? Then I will be tightening them. X-ray. Move it. Artery. Artery. Now just moving it is not enough to check it. The only way to check it properly is using a radiograph. So let's use a radiograph. Yeah, sure. Yes. आराम से ढीला छोड़िए लो। See, this is a good thing that we know now that they are not seated. Can you see that? Show them. Can you see that they are not seated? Right? Yes or no? They are not responding.
Dr. Mendakshi, can you see it?
Yes, sir, we can see.
You can see that they are not seated.
Yes, sir.
So maybe I did not push it down enough. Give me a artery. Open up. Open it up. हाँ बिल्कुल इसके छोटे वाले नहीं है हाइट वाले कोपेक्स यही है who manage the inventory you all do it or the you collect from him so it is not seating in. Okay, anyway, so we now see that it is not seating in. So this is a good example when why the impression was not accurately recorded. So now we remove it. I'll show you something now. As you can see, the coping were not getting seated there.
Sir, the video is not.
As you could see, the coping were not getting seated there. Let us take an X-ray here and see whether the coping are getting seated. Okay? Same idea. Problem behind here. I think anyway.
Sir, we can't see the video.
Yeah, sure. एक और X-ray.
हाँ वो हिला दिया ना ये तो ऐसी ब्लैक चलती रहेगी ऐसी आवाज़ नहीं होती
नहीं, in the car both are seated. Yeah. This joint. This is seated. So see, in the car both are seated. So this is how it should be in the patient's mouth also. Now there can be two issues. First is I am actually not able to seat it and work in the patient's mouth. Okay, or the impression was inaccurate, right? There are only two ways, right? So, but the chances of this happening, incomplete seating of both the impression copings, is very rare. Because you remember if there is an impression coping, we took an X-ray, they were seated there. So there is the inter-implant abutment relationship can change, and they are very parallel to each other. The seating should not change. So either while pouring, or two of the three things must have happened. Either while pouring, they were not seated tightened. So when I tightened it in the impression, I did not tighten it properly enough. Maybe there was a gap there, and that gap is what is reflecting in the previous X-ray. Or I am not able to do it rightly right now in the patient's mouth. So let us try once more in the patient mouth, then I will show it to you how to correct it. The screw is shorter. Okay. Yeah, definitely. So what we have done is we will be using a shorter screw. We will not change anything. We just change the shorter screw so that I should be able to tighten it better in the patient's mouth. Another one we have a shorter screw. Okay, we have one short screw. How do we manage with one short screw? No problems. Let us try at least in one short screw whether it is seating or not. That is a screw test. No, not exactly. No. Not as the right way. In a full mouth patient, you do a screw test, one screw test. That is entirely different. Not something of this sort. Let's go back. I'll show you. खोले हाथ खोले okay, do you have an abutment screw? Do you have a normal abutment screw? Either होगा ना abutment of the screw होगा ना?
It's not visible.
Open up.
Hello,
मैंने
sir.
angled abutment देखा था उसका screw होगा ना?
Dr. Vasan, hello.
अच्छा यूज हो जाएगा खोले ओपन अप
Hello.
या
Sir, video is not visible.
open up video is not clear or not at all visible?
Not at all visible.
Not at all visible. You did not give enough time to the people who are shooting a video here.
I think Swapnil or Om is there.
मोटिवेशन दो उनको वीडियो अच्छा शूट करने के लिए.
मिल जाएगा सर, कल ही मिल जाएगा. अभी तो करते हैं पहले.
करो भाई.
देखिए
Now is it visible?
Now it's visible, sir.
It is retracted. No, retract the lower lip.
I think जो cord है वो loose है. तो
Yeah, the top cord is what is not getting engaged. Now what we have done here is we changed the screw to a shorter screw so that I could tighten it easily, right, using the hex driver because the patient's mouth opening was limited, right. So I have been able to do one for it. For the second one we are waiting for the screw to come. We are customizing the screw, right. Okay, let's take an X-ray by then.
the post. Basically a very problem. Find out either your implant analog.
See, it is still there is a gap. Okay. Now see this. This is firm. This is not moving. That means even without properly seating it.
So it is not visible.
Okay. See, this is not moving here. This is firm. There is no movement. So clinically, despite having the fact that there is no movement, there might be inaccuracies. So this will only and only be visible with an X-ray. So don't think so, no sir, it was fine. Okay. So now what we do is we will make a pickup impression. No. See, the point is, as I was telling you, if it is a complete mouth case where are multiple implants and the distance is long, I will personally prefer to make a pickup impression all the time, regardless of the verification. If the distance is large or if there are multiple implants. Otherwise, this would have been fine. There would not have been any need for making a pickup impression. Right? Now, how do we make a pickup impression? So, what is the first step is? बहुत बढ़िया देखते हैं ना नेक्स्ट टाइम नो प्रॉब्लम manage it. They are more easier to manage. This is a close but we manage it. So we make this work as a bit. Okay, now what is the step that we are going to do is we are going to section it. So how will you section it? With a disc. Do we have a disc? Where is the disc? In the lab. So they will go to the lab and they will cut it from the center. Bring it. Do you people sterilize your prosthetic components? No. How are you supposed to sterilize your prosthetic components? Means you should be doing a cold sterilization or autoclaving them. You are asking me, you are telling me, informing me. No. The only way to do is to autoclave it. So therefore they will only be used for a limited number of times. Because every time you are heat treating it, every time you are tightening it, you are loosening it, you are losing the effect. Clear? So see, by the time the rig is getting tension, I will show you the difference into the height of the screws. This is the long screw. Okay, then we have a short screw. खराब हो चुका है। See this, even the X is deformed, right?
Sir, there is a question from the internal side.
Okay. See, yeah, there is a question from the internal side. Right? Please go ahead.
Sir, there is a big structure. I think this is a tissue gingival tissue.
Yeah, gingival tissue, the gingiva.
Yes.
So what happens is, people when you pour a cast in case of an implant supported prosthesis, as I told you, you are making an impression of the soft tissue and the hard tissue. So this pink part represents the soft tissue. So I can remove them all, but I can remove it also. So there is a special material of shofu which comes, which is known as a GI mask or a gingival mask, which represents your gingiva. So anyone who is not a prosto PG, now it is a very good time to make them your best friends. Okay? Should try your best at prosto people are your best friends. They know about all this. They use it. So this is a mask which, as you can see, I can remove it from the cast. So it just represents my soft tissue profile. Now we have the section pieces there. And we will put it here. Now what has she done is, she has gone ahead and so your prosto equipment has to be changed every now and then. Your hex driver should be working well. They should be engaging. See, now none of the hex drivers is actually engaging into the internal screw. Just remove this. Every time you buy 50 implants, at least take 6 new components of prosthesis. Okay? Then you run engage. And let it outwards. Which was the middle one? एक ही था ना चलो shorter one नहीं ये तो लगी नहीं है but you made a pattern on this the central screw we can use yes. So remember jig जहाँ से कट हुई है वहां से उसको प्लेस करना है Now we tried with the verification jig, the verification did not happen. So we are going to make a pickup impression. So for a pickup impression, what is being done is there is a gap here. Ideally there should be a complete gap. You should be able to, you should be cutting this also. Okay, there should be a complete through and through gap. My lateral should be going completely through it. So one of you can go and do it. The section it in this place only. Leave them all on the cast. The section it. Oh, chair. what tends to happen is if you keep on using the same hex driver, the same components is this, the top of the hex that gets deformed, right? So that it does not engage into your components clearly. Then secondly what happens, the top of the negative of the hex, that is here, this also gets deformed, right? So you cannot reuse your components n number of times. Then another thing what happens is these threads, they get worn off, they started leaving residue. Okay, those fine particles might even go into the internal threads of the implant and damage the implant also. This is something that you can still change, but implant you cannot change, the internal threads cannot be remade. So whatever you put into an implant, you should be very careful. Never put a different company or a different connection into this part. Otherwise you will deform the threads. You might be able to tighten them, but if you do that, you might end up deforming the threads. So the implant connecting segment, that is the segment which is going into the implant, should be the same segment. Okay, another thing that one of you asked me was how to make a customized healing cap. Do we have this thing? Analog. Any analog? Yeah. So imagine I have to customize this healing cap. But it's very difficult to hold it like this and do it, right? So what I'll do is I'll use analog and tighten it to a analog. So I can hold the analog now and I easily work. Now my next step will be I can make this part ruffled. I'll use a bar and ruffle this. I'll ruffle this part from all the 360 degrees. Then I'll take flowable composite. Then I'll put flowable composite and keep on curing it. Right? That is how you allow the composite to hold. Then I can move it into the patient's mouth and maybe whatever is remaining I can customize only that remaining part in the patient's mouth. It is very difficult to customize the whole thing in the patient's mouth because some of that initial composite might fall into the implant also or into the socket also. So always do the initial contouring here by roughening it and then do the final contouring as required in the mouth. And you can use the analog to hold it, right? Now this is a complete through and through space. Now what we will be doing is very simple. We will place it in the patient's mouth, take X-ray, join it using pattern resin. Okay, some people have started using composite resin also, it's not faster, but the material strength is low. So you can use that and then again make the impression in the same way how you made it yesterday. But now because you are only rebuilding this part and not the complete part, the chances of error are much reduced. Even if these two things would have been so far apart, the gap that you have to fill is only this much of a gap. Okay, so who is wearing gloves? This is pickup jig. Transfer jig तो अबटमेंट को ट्रांसफर के लिए काम में आती है. पहले जो jig थी वो वेरिफिकेशन jig थी. This is a sectional jig used to make a pickup impression, right? So ultimately the terminology is different based on the usage. The concept is the same. हेलो, देखना आवाज आ रही है? Okay, Dr. Ahmed, is it fine?
It is fine now.
Yeah. So we have put the two impression posts again, and we are just taking an X-ray to verify the seating. ढीला छोड़िए, ढीला छोड़िए, ढीला छोड़िए, बस ऐसे ही रखिए.
The distal one is not set right.
No, this is the X-ray.
Oh, okay. It is fine.
Okay, so this is the X-ray. As you can see, it is seated, right? So now what we are going to do is again use the same method, get the verification date, but this time it will be much faster because the area that we have to make up is very less.
We build up this material in the composite, sir?
We can use composite also, but the drawback of composite is it is not as strong as the pattern resin.
Okay.
But yes, in the clinics to make it much faster, you can even use flowable composite. I'll show you using a flowable composite also. Do you have flowable? So there are two ways of doing it now. Either I use a pattern resin like I used last time, remember? So I can do it in the same way. But now I have to build up only this part. Right? So it is definitely going to be much faster. Right? Yeah. So now this time around we should be able to make the lingual side also. So let us get the composite and make it from the composite, that lingual side. See, ideally I still the better way is to use the pattern resin only. But yes, composite is much faster and many a times pattern resin is not available in many of the clinics. Now remember, an implant clinic is not just a surgical clinic. What happens is when we try to design an implant clinic, we design it only on the basis of surgeries. But see, there are so many things that we require prosthetically also. Right? So it has to be a complete clinic. Then absolutely all the work is done in one go. Right? Clear?
So after this procedure, again we take an impression?
Yes, so after this procedure, what we are doing? We are again making an impression the same way, exactly the same way. Right? So we have flowable composite here, we require another mirror and a light cure unit. Here. So here I am doing it with composite. Do we have this thing already there? Curing light? Almost there.
This step is clear to everyone. Now there is a two-way to basically join this pattern. One is the composite. On the lingual side, we are putting composite and cure it. On the buccal side, sir is what did on the only the pattern wax. Put it there and.
So here we have the pattern resin. Now we are hoping for the light to come in fast.
In the meanwhile, you use a chair light also.
Yes.
Some curing is there.
Dr. Ahmed, we can understand that you are all nostalgic about your stuff, but I think it's time to change many of them. Right?
Yes. You write it down on notes, sir.
When they will say it's easier to change the matter than changing so much stuff. Right? Okay, so we write for it. So remember, no etching, no bonding, nothing. Right? Only pure composite resin. So now what we have is, on the buckle side, we are joining that space using pattern resin. Right? Can you appreciate that? There is no space here. We've used pattern resin, and on the lingual side we have used is composite. Can you see the whitish part? So we will use composite resins. So again, both the impression postcards printed to each other. But this time the difference is only this much gap had to be printed. So the chances of error are much lesser, right? Sorry? क्या हाल चाल है? Yes. आप कैसे? यहाँ पे कितना टाइम से? ये करेगा? इतना भी कॉन्फिडेंस है? हाँ? Okay, so party like body. So we are BDS batchmates. उनका DD के बारे में बता रहा हूँ.
Sir, video is not there.
Video is not there. मैं बता रहा हूँ मोटिवेशन का लैक हो रहा है कुछ.
सर डॉक्टर गीता आ गई ना तो वीडियो को आपने ऑफ कर दिया.
सही है.
सर आवाज से ही पता लगा कि डॉक्टर गीता
गीता
है.
आ गई है, right? See, one thing is for sure, Manipala, they might lack in anything, but they are loud, right? Yes, sir.
Yes.
Acha. Because we are confident, right? So we use a internal mixing tip to put the flowable, to put the right body in. अच्छा, चलो चलो बात करता हूँ. चलो. Okay, bye bye, take care. Then we have do we have a tray? Open up. Again exposing the two heads of the central screw. Okay, and now holding it here, right? After that we will be removing it, and that is it, right? So your gloves, you can hold it. Okay, now people, for 2 minutes you have to wait up. I have an important thing to share with you. I'll be coming up. By the time she will be removing it, right? Okay.
How was the 2 days last time? डिस्कस किया कि नहीं कुछ पूछा?
कुछ बोल के आए हाथ में बोल रहे
इससे इजी वे से तो कोई फोन कर दिया आउट ऑफ स्टेशन ही रहना सर्टिफिकेशन वाले थे.
खत्म हो गया तो
सबसे ज्यादा जान यही कर सर अभी है ना।
लाइव
बहुत अच्छा काम किया आपने, वीडियो चला के बिल्कुल वेरी गुड। वो थर्ड होगा, इसके बाद एक बार मार्च में कराएंगे, मार्च एंड तक करा देंगे। तुम लोगों को मार्च तक हो जाएगा 30% कंप्लीट, बिफोर 30% करें। मीन बाय जो भी तुम्हें लगता है टाइम मिलता है क्रॉसर डिपार्टमेंट में बोल देता हूँ, इंप्रेशंस ओपन ट्रे क्लोज ट्रे लेना शुरू करो। तो सुनील को लिस्ट वो ले लेगा नीचे डिपार्टमेंट से, इंटर्न से एटलीस्ट जब भी फ्री हो जाके वहाँ पे अपना मेजरमेंट किसी भी पेशेंट पे, जो भी पेशेंट, नॉट योर पेशेंट, एनी पेशेंट, मतलब ओपन ट्रे क्लोज ट्रे देन प्लास्टिक ट्रायल सब करके देख लो एक बार, ठीक है। परमिशन लेके, स्पेशल परमिशन लेके जिस भी डिपार्टमेंट पोस्ट हो कर, पीजीज तो करते रहते हैं हमारे, पीजीज का तो क्या काम देंगे नहीं करते, करना शुरू कर दो बहुत जल्दी। मैंने सुना तुम ग्रैनुलर में भी निकाल के कॉपर फिल्म निकाल के भेजो, देख लो एक्सट्रैक्शन, कॉपर कोलेक्टमी एंड एससीसी एक्सिजनल बायोप्सी, बायोजेनिक ग्रैनुलोमास। यहाँ से कंप्लीट हो गए तो ऊपर आ जाए, फोटो खिंचवाना, फोटो खिंचवाना। 5 मिनट में कौन सा फर्क पड़ जाएगा, 100 किलोमीटर 5 मिनट में और आपको लेके आ जाना, इनको लेके आ जाना। नैन कितनी दूर क्यों बैठे हैं, है ना तेरे नैना। बाकी टीम का है तुम्हारी पहली होगी, मैं सब कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव आईटीएस में एक्चुअली आजकल जो है वो डेंटिस्ट्री जो है वो स्पेशलाइज ना हो, इज लाइक अ जनरल डेंटिस्ट। वो अगर आगे चल के क्या जाता अकेडमिक इज एक्चुअली ऐसा होता जा रहा है कि लोग ज्वाइन नहीं करते विद टाइम। अकेडमिक्स में क्या है, इट इज 8:30 3 o'clock जॉब या 4 o'clock जॉब, एंड आफ्टर दैट आप कर नहीं पाते। क्लिनिक में क्या है, यू स्टार्ट क्लिनिक ऑन डे 1, वो 1 महीने में देगा, 2 महीने में देगा, 3 महीने में देगा, 6 महीने में देगा, लेकिन आफ्टर 6 months grow like anything, you can grow like anything, जितना करना चाहो उतना कर सकते हो, वही बस प्रॉब्लम। तो आप क्लिनिक पे जाओ तो सब कुछ आना चाहिए। तो अभी लोग हैं जो स्पेशलाइज प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, आगे आने वाली जनरेशन निकलेगी। जैसे मेरे क्लिनिक पे all 7 to 8 कंसल्टेंट विल कम। अगर मुझे डायग्नोसिस भी कराना है किसी तरह, ओरोपैथी आता है, लैब कराना है तो पेरियो भी आता है, एंडो कराना का एंडोडोंटिस्ट भी आता है, आपको और भी पता ही है, मेमियन में फॉस्फेट ओरोसिल सब एंडोडोंटिस्ट भी आता है। तो एक होता है कि एम्प्लॉयमेंट टू समबडी, एक होता है कि अपने आप ही सब कुछ करना सर्वत्र। तो सर्वत्र वाले लोग जल्दी थक जाते हैं, प्रैक्टिस करते हो थोड़ा लॉन्ग टर्म काम करते हो, क्यों अपने को थकाना है। मान लेता तो वीडियो कर लिया, मुझे अच्छा लगेगा, तू आएगा आधा कर लेंगे, नहीं जो भी करें, मैं तो एग्जाम तो देना सर। एक फोटो क्लिक करा ले,
एक फोटो क्लिक करा ले, बट एक स्लाइड है उससे पहले। See, one thing which I wanted to share with you is,
ये लगा देना एक स्लाइड लगा दो, आपकी स्टैंडिंग है नीचे भी निकल गया हो।
now, okay, very few of you are here now. Okay, I think I should have done it before. Now, see, remember one thing. Now, you must be thinking that why don't you have good teachers to teach you, or why don't the teachers teach you well? All of them are good teachers. It is an equal response. We also need good students to be teaching them. If I am teaching and some of you are sleeping, yawning, I will also not like feel to teach, right? So my motivation to come all the way, leaving my practice for 2 days to teach is not of monetary value. I believe that some of you will be learning something out of it, okay? So I will be giving you my mobile number. I want you to WhatsApp me the review for the class. Where all did we do well? What all can we refine and make it better the next time? The reason why I don't say no to ITS Ghaziabad, I think this is my 5th time for a prosto lecture here, is despite the fact it's very difficult to travel to here. There are no good hotels nearby, right? The flight connection sucks. Like my flight is tomorrow morning. I'll be wasting my whole evening today. But still is because the students here are good. They are interested. It feels good to be teaching them, right? So at least one WhatsApp from each one of you. Don't have to disclose your name, anything. We just need a review that how was the class, what all should we improve, what all topics should we dedicate it for. Okay, that is first thing. So my mobile number is 99283. Okay, 99283 66118. Okay, so store this number first of all for a review. Secondly, any problems anywhere. I'm a prosthodontist, we can manage everything. Right? Whenever you have a problem related to any case, you can reach out to me. Okay? Not a problem. Right? Thirdly, we do have more to learn in implants. I don't do much of commercial training in implants at my center, but we do have a position open every year for one candidate to assist me for implantology only for 3 months. Okay? Wherein you assist me for real-time cases. Okay? It is hard work. I will push you hard. I will make you work harder. But I can assure you, you will learn more than anything else there in those 3 months. Right? So that is one position we have open. We only take one candidate. That is it. Okay? There is no fees for it. Okay? There is no fees for it. It is only that you should be motivated enough to learn about it. Okay? It is regardless of whether you are a graduate, postgraduate, doesn't make a difference. Okay? So that is one thing. If you are interested in that, you can reach out to me. Another thing in dentistry and everything is that I wanted to end up is, can we avoid the complications? No. It is not possible to avoid complications anywhere in life. We can definitely reduce them. How can we reduce them? By practicing, learning. You know, I have been taking these kind of lectures for the last 15 years. But still, every time I take a lecture, I also learn something new. Every time reading the same slides, I understand the same words in a better way. If you go back and read your DM books today, you will understand them much better than what you did them when you were reading just DM and not relating them to the clinical practices. Right? So that is it. We'll have a photograph. Thanks a lot. Lovely audience. And only one person is left, I think. Yes? She was also trying very hard not to sleep, but difficult. Right? Chalo. Okay. Let's come for a photo.